In 2014, Amazon introduced the world to Alexa. Alexa can perform many functions. She can play music, set a quiz, make a shopping list, and seemingly answer any question. She sits quietly in the corner of the room until a wake word causes her to jump to attention and satisfy your pressing demand. I spent an afternoon with 4 nephews when Alexa was repeatedly asked to relay the scores of the in-play football matches. She was forgotten about the rest of the evening, as she'd no use until asked to forecast the weather for the following day's activities. This got me thinking, do we have a tendency to treat God a bit like Alexa? We're content for God to sit in the corner, on mute, out of our way, not commenting on life, until we decide we want God's input. Then we call his name, expect him to become alert immediately, and give us what we need. After all, isn't this what we contracted with him, and we demand a good service? I've come to think God isn't big into the instantaneous. Occasionally it happens, healing miracles being one example. Waiting seems to be a significant part of God's operating system. Jesus doesn't receive the instantaneous. Luke chapter 6 describes Jesus staying up all night in prayer to discern the makeup of the 12 who would become his disciples. He doesn't receive a divine download. So why should we expect to? Yet we live in a society that expects the immediate. We expect the answer or information to be right at hand. And we become conditioned to this, and woe betide anyone who causes delay. Imagine if poor Alexa was to reply, "Let me find out and I'll get back to you." She'd be returned to the store and a refund requested. We expect the answer to our question to be precise, accurate, and speedy. The problem with Alexa is she lacks a certain nuance. Her answers are stock, one size fits all, which don't account for our individuality and personality. Now, a number of years ago, Alexa found herself in controversy when she discovered that she listened permanently into what conversations were taking place around her. People tried ways to override this function but failed. And the reported purpose of this was that Alexa could learn about us, get to know our preferences, and therefore meet our needs better. But the world wondered who was really listening. Was it Amazon, ready to bombard us with tantalizing offers? Donald Trump, China, even Mother Russia. It seems we all like to be heard, but only when we want. The reality is that as followers of Jesus, we, not God, need to be more like Alexa, always listening out to God. Our God is a loving God who draws us into relationship with him. He wants to communicate with us. Just like Samuel in the temple trained by Eli to listen to God, we need to learn this also. I believe God is constantly trying to get our attention, but so often we fail to notice. Thomas Merton put it like this: every moment and every event in a person's life on earth plants something in their soul. For just as the wind carries thousands of winged seeds, so each moment brings with it moments of spiritual vitality, that come to rest in the minds and wills of the human. The parable of the sower shows the importance of humans' receptivity to receive the word of God. The seed taking root is never a given, and there's a level of responsibility in the hearer to cultivate the conditions in which the seed can be nourished and release its full potential. What is never in doubt is the generosity of the sower who scatters generously in a reckless throwaway style. The seed is risked on hard ground, and I am one for grateful the Lord never flinched from spreading the word on hard hearts like mine. We need to switch on and begin to pay attention, begin to notice our thoughts, feelings, joys, the encounters with others, and also the things that stir up our resistances. Our generous God uses the whole gambit of human experiences to communicate with us. However, most of the time we're on standby or distracted, cultivating weeds. Rather than expect the Alexa-like answer, I truly believe within all of his communication, God will provide the answer to your question. May we develop ears, eyes, and hearts that listen. One of the best ways to do that is the daily examine, an Ignatian practice which I'll share about in future weeks. Alexa is a byproduct of the speedy way we live, the world of noise and quick answers. And this is hard to rein, to hear from God. Can we be disciplined to live by a different rhythm? Reverend Richard Coles in his autobiography writes, "It's difficult to accustom ourselves to silence in a world of relentless noise. Difficult to simply surrender, to let go of our needs, to ignore our internal commentaries, with all their evasions and incompleteness, and to tune into God's frequency, to find the signal of God amongst the static." May God bless you in this week ahead.